As I was scrolling through the peaceful world of the internet, I came across this fanart drawing of FRIEREN made by SpaceDev1. Now I'm not gonna lie, it is bad. Now that is expected because SpaceDev1 has a beginner skill and he is trying to fight this boss level head angle. Now I can say this because my drawing looked about the same when I was trying to do this angle. But in this video, we are not going to shit on SpaceDev1's attempt or even correct his drawing. Instead, I'm going to share my knowledge on how I would approach this tricky angle using my free tutorial uploaded on my channel and without using any visual references. Now before we dive in, please make sure that you watch first my free head angle tutorial here. It's really important so you'll have good context for the rest of the video. But if you don't want to watch it, that's totally fine. I'm still gonna try my best to rediscuss everything in this video. Before you start drawing, make sure you already gather as many references as you need. But like I said, I won't use any references, so I'm just gonna skip that. Since the proportions are a little all over the place, I'll need to make a few assumptions as we go. This is a very hard angle, so one thing we can try is draw it from the easiest view we can imagine. So for me, that's front view. So, based on the reference, she is looking slightly on top and slightly on her right side. And the camera or the viewing point is somewhere on this side. Based on that, I'm gonna do the rough sketch real quick. Is this close enough? I'm not sure, but I guess we'll just roll with it. Now it's time for me to show you how I came up with this, so the next thing we're gonna do is our guidelines. Step 1 is identifying the angle of the eyeline. Now based on our rough sketch, it looks something like this. Next step is to draw a line from the eye to ear. Now basically that line is from this point right here to this point over here. Step 3, create the rectangle. This step is really important because it will serve as the connection point of the flash shape and the M line. This can also help you visualize the angle of the face more accurately. Next is add the inverted flash shape. Now this step is very important. I'm gonna tell you why later on the video, but just remember this inverted flash shape. Step 5 is add the M line. Now why I call this M line? Because it looks like an M. And M line is so much easier to pronounce than W line. Last but not least is to draw the circle for the cranium. Now be careful with the perspective of the circle, simply because it can also make or break your guidelines. Alright, now we have our guidelines, it's time to add the facial features. Now a rule of thumb I created is to make sure that as much as possible, the eyes, nose, and mouth are only within the flask shape. The moment you go outside it, the face will look a bit off. Look at this, even though the facial features are simple shapes, if I draw outside the flask, the result is pretty stupid. Another tip for you guys, and this is just me, it may or may not work for you, but when doing faces at a weird angle, try first to draw the nose, because it can help you visualize the angle of the face, and it can also serve as a great landmark for the eyes and mouth, making it much easier for you to draw the facial features. And while I'm doing the facial features, I wanna say something. I just realized that AI bros will never feel what the art community has. Because of Space Dev attempt, artists of all skill levels coming together to see if they can pull off that same weird angle. It's funny though because no one started the trend, it just happens, and I think that's cool. You know, it's just like a moment where everyone is learning side by side, laughing together because of the memes. Every creativity of human being is being unleashed on the internet because of one piece of art. That's really beautiful. That's a real human energy right there. And you will never, ever see this kind of same reaction when AI slap messes up. The response is always negative. It's like people have been waiting all day just to roast it. Anyway, quick break. This video is sponsored by me. If you want to support what I do, check out my Patreon. I've also got a premium guide on how to draw heads from different angles, way more reliable than I promise. Link is in the description down below. Alright, back to the drawing. This is already looking good. Now we gotta do the eyes. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not really good at eyes. Alright, after some few attempts, I think I got it. At this stage, you could pass it off as finished artwork, but I'm going to clean up the line art a bit more. Now for the chin area, what I usually do is avoid defining the jawline too much because I think it takes attention away from the main focal point, which is the face. Instead, I add shadows to show the form of the chin. Alright guys, I think we pulled this off pretty well, considering I didn't use any references for this super weird head angle and just went with what I talked about in our free tutorial video. And Space Dev 1, if you are watching, dude, you are a legend! Your attempt brought the art community together and inspired so many artists, including me, to leave our comfort zones and try the same challenge. The angle you attempted is actually one of the hardest out there. Despite of that, you chose to pick up a pencil and put in the work instead of running to Gen AI like a little bitch. And you, Space Dev, just proved that Gen AI will never, ever beat art made by humans. For that, my friend, you have earned my full respect. So that's it. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more art content like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye!